Good evening and welcome to Law Line, a live call-in talk show brought to you by the law firm of Levin Papantonio. My name is Aaron Watson. I'm an attorney with the Levin Law Firm. Tonight we're going to be talking about personal injury law, meaning that if you have any questions in the area of personal injury law, if you've been hurt, if you've been injured, if you just have a question about the law, if you've been trying to maybe do it on your own, try to go after a claim on your own, and you want to say, you know what, let me see what Mr. Watson thinks about it. Should I do this or should I do that? I invite you, if you're listening to this show right now, this broadcast, I invite you to call in. The number here is 850-432-7768. This is a live call-in talk show, meaning that if you call in right now, I can pretty much guarantee you that I can assist you or help you in some way. We're going to go ahead and take our first call. We got a caller on line 1. Good evening and thanks for calling Law Line. This is Aaron Watson. How can I help you?
Yes, Miss Watson. I had an accident. It been like, I believe it was November last year. And I didn't go to the ER when the ambulance came, but I had to go that same day because it didn't seem like I was hurt when it first happened. It was a really bad accident. Totaled out the car that hit me. It was traveling like about 80 miles an hour. I was charged with the accident, but I had insurance coverage that would take care of my car, my medical bills. And I went to the ER and I didn't go back because I thought I was okay. Since then, a lot of things has happened, like I didn't get any treatment, follow-up treatments, and I'm having like problems with my arms and things that was injured, and my knee and like paralysis has set up in my knee and my feet, both feet. I was wondering, is it too late to pursue my insurance company for medical coverage?
Well, let me ask you this, caller. When you say you were charged with the accident, did the officer give you a ticket for the accident?
Well, he gave both of us a ticket, but he was charging me with violation of right-of-way.
Okay, and what was the other driver charged with?
I don't have no idea.
Okay. Did you have you gotten in contact with the other driver's insurance company?
They were calling me and for a while, and then they stopped. And I felt like I was okay, like I wasn't injured. Then after that, I started having falling, and my knee like is paralyzed, and my feet is like paralyzed. And I don't know what it's, from me not pursuing any medical treatment, like authorized set up in my arms that was hurt, and I was hit like they was doing like 80 miles an hour when they hit me. It was lucky I was alive, but when it first happened, I didn't have not one pain. Felt like, nothing was wrong. And I went to the ER like the same day because I started hurting. And after that, I didn't follow up with any treatments. And now I'm really down sick from this accident.
Let me ask you this. When did the accident occur?
I believe it was November 2009.
Of last year?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you have uninsured motorist coverage?
I have whatever coverage it was like insured up $10,000, and my insurance company was calling me to pay. But I had went one visit, and I found out they never paid for that visit.
Okay. So your medical bills, your own insurance company has been paying for most of them?
They were supposed to
but
pay
they haven't
for.
paid
I have that type of insurance that would have paid if I went.
Okay. And just to be clear, so you didn't go to the emergency room. You hadn't been to the hospital at all?
I went to the emergency room.
Okay. And since the emergency room, you hadn't been?
I haven't been going.
Okay. Yeah. I think that, you definitely have a claim, just because you were ticketed with the accident doesn't necessarily mean that the accident was your fault. That's, it's evidence of liability, but it's not the end all be all. If you were hit by another vehicle at 80 miles an hour, that's something for the, maybe at a future date at trial for an attorney to argue about whose fault it was. But the fact of the matter is, you were hit by a vehicle that was going 80 miles per hour. I don't know. And it wasn't,
and the speed limit was about 30.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't know too many places you can drive at 80 miles an hour besides the highway. So clearly he was driving recklessly, negligently. He was breaking the law, and that's something that an attorney is going to make clear that, you should be compensated. And the fact of the matter is, I see cases, several cases where a driver gets into an accident They come out of the accident, and they feel like they're okay. They just gone through a traumatic experience, and they feel like they're okay. And then a couple weeks later, a month later, they have pain in their back, pain in their neck, tingling in their fingers,
That's
and your knee.
Really sick. I was sick as I could be since this accident. Everything went down here. I was able to walk. I was able to do my own cleaning in my yards, and I haven't been able to do any of that.
And that's very common for knee pains, all of that. I mean, the fact of the matter is, I think that any insurance adjuster, any jury, if it has to go to that point, will understand that being hit by a car at 80 miles an hour, there's going to be something wrong, What I would suggest is, and I would suggest that you do this immediately, is that you start treatment. Try to get in contact with whether it be a chiropractor, physical therapist, somebody immediately. Call them tomorrow and start treatment. The fact is, you have 4 years to bring a claim against the at-fault driver. Was there an accident report?
Yes, sir. Everybody does.
Okay. So there should be. So you should have the name of the person that hit you.
Do.
And there should also be a
the insurance company.
Yeah, the name of the insurance company as well.
Right.
Now, I don't know if you're trying to handle this case on your own, but the second thing I would advise is for you to get an attorney involved. If you'd like to call our firm, you can go to levinlaw.com and you can see my profile. I can help you out with the case. Also, if you just call 435-7000.
Okay.
One of our personal injury attorneys can help you as well. And what we'll do is we'll get that accident report and the names and the insurance company on there. We'll get in contact with them and say, we represent this person. Don't call them anymore. Don't contact them anymore. Call us. She has neck pain, knee pain, back pain, and we expect for you to compensate her for that. The fact of the matter is, your driver caused the accident. He was negligent, and a lot of people try to go through these or handle these claims on their own. When you're dealing with insurance adjusters, their job is to save money for their company. They're going to say, hey, well, you didn't treat with anyone for 3 months, so you must not have been injured. So we're not going to give you anything. Well, the fact of the matter is, should you have gone to treatment? Yes, but just because you didn't doesn't mean that the other driver gets away scot-free. That doesn't mean that he that you have to pay for all these expenses on your own. So I would suggest you do get an attorney involved. Okay. Number two, you need to start treating immediately, because that's the first thing the insurance company is going to say is, she didn't treat for 3 months, there's nothing wrong with her. So let's start getting a doctor to treat you and say, what, she has knee pain and it's caused from this accident. She has neck pain and it's caused from this accident. So once an attorney gets that letter from the doctor and this doctor is saying this pain is caused from this accident, we're going to call the adjuster and say, listen, this pain was caused from your client's accident. You need to compensate my client. And if they don't compensate you to the point that we feel comfortable with and that you feel comfortable with, we'll have to take them to court and go about it that way and explain to the court, your injuries and the treatment that you undertook.
Okay.
Okay.
And your number was 435-7000.
435-7000. And if you go to levinlaw.com, you'll see my profile. You can see get my direct office number, and I'd love to help you out, point you in the right direction. Okay.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks for calling.
Bye.
All right, guys. Now, as you can see, that I learned how to hang up the phone. Usually, Rachel, my colleague, is here for the Law Line show, and she usually picks up the phone, But they showed me during the break. You got to press an HF button, and then it hangs up the phone. Anyhow, the caller that just called in made a very good point. She said that she was involved in an accident, that the actual driver hit her at 80 miles per hour. And after the accident, immediately after, she didn't have any injury. She didn't feel any pain. Now it's about 2 or 3 months out, and everything is hurting. I mean, you can imagine being hit at 80 miles per hour with a vehicle. Something's going to ache, and it did ache with her. But the problem was she went to an emergency room, and they treated her, but she didn't seek any treatment after that. I can tell you. In fact, I just got off the phone with an insurance adjuster. They're going to say she didn't treat. I don't care if you've missed 2 weeks. They're going to say, oh, she didn't go to the chiropractor. She didn't go to the physical therapist for 2 weeks. Nothing's wrong with her. If you're currently treating because of an accident, my advice to you is to keep treating. Don't skip treatment. Don't say, well, I'm too busy to go. I got other things to do, because you're hurting your case by doing that. a person that's injured is going to seek treatment. Unless there's some type of an emergency, well, then you can't make it to your treatment. But make sure that you have a continuous record of treatment, because your lawyer is going to look at all that. The insurance adjuster is going to look at all that. A jury, if it has to go to court, is going to look at all that, to establish how injured you are. So your only job, if you have an attorney on the case, is just to seek treatment, just to keep going. Let your attorney handle the law. We'll handle contacting the insurance company, but just keep going to treatment. Call tomorrow. Call someone, a chiropractor, physical therapist, and say, listen, I've been injured, hadn't treated for a couple months, but I need you to help me out. So if you're treating, keep going to treatment. If you've been in an accident and you didn't go to treatment, make sure you get treatment. We're going to go and take our caller on line 3. They've been holding for a while. Good evening and welcome to Law Line. How can we help you?
Yes, sir. I was calling. I was at a local club here, and I was sat at the bar waiting on a drink, and the bartender opened up a bottle of champagne. Okay. The cork came out of the bottle, and it hit me in my eye. And I was wondering if they're liable for anything.
Tell me, after the cork hit you in your eye, what injuries did you sustain?
Well, it's a little swollen and have a little red spot on my eyeball.
Did you go to a doctor regarding the injury?
No, I didn't. They kind of played it safe, and they were giving me drinks free for the whole night and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, really? Yeah. When did the incident happen?
That's about 2 weeks ago.
About 2 weeks ago. What I would do, I think that you were a customer at their store, and they opened a bottle and it hit you in your eye. Whether or not you have a legal claim is going to be at issue, because under the civil law, it has to be somewhat, either they have to have done something negligently, or they have to have done it intentionally, and maybe holding that bottle and taking the cord out and aiming it at your eye, maybe an argument can be made that was negligent, or that he negligently opened the bottle. However, the real issue becomes, do you want to take this bar to court, because of your eye? The fact of the matter is that your eye might heal by next week, and there may not be a problem with it. But then again, in a couple months, maybe you might lose, I hate that this were to happen, but maybe you might lose some type of vision with your eye because of this. So my answer to your question is there could be a claim, but you're going to have to show that the person who opened that bottle cork was negligent. And, they'll probably make an argument that, I don't know if you saw them opening the bottle cork, but they'll probably say you should have moved out of the way that it's common for these things to pop out, and, you can't tell when or where. What I would do to make things simple, write a letter to the bar owner. Let them know what happened. Let them know what expenses you've incurred. Whether or not, if you want to go to a doctor, you can let them know how much it's going to cost for you to go.